All right, everyone, I'm just going to go ahead and warn you. You're not going to like what you see in this video. The injury report was loaded with a lot of players that we all really like. Like, they're all really big fan favorites, and they're also very impactful players. So, really quick, let's take a deep breath together. It's going to be okay. It's Wednesday. The teams have time to get healthy. But if you want to help the team get healthy a little bit quicker and you don't want to take any chances, like this video, hit the thumbs up icon so we can make the injuries stop. I absolutely hate injuries. It's the worst part of sports. Unfortunately, it is a real part of sports, but I wish they could just go away. So like this video if you want to get the injuries and the injury bug just out of New Orleans. All right, so first things first, we got to have a pretty tough conversation. Erik McCoy. Can't say this is an unexpected thing because yesterday reports coming out that he was going to have groin surgery and he was going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, immediately my mind went to he's probably going on IR because when you go on IR, you are eligible to return after 4 weeks. You cannot return for 4 weeks, but after 4 weeks, you're able to come back. So today, he had groin surgery. He was undergoing and getting groin surgery today, and he will be placed on IR. He has officially been placed on the injured reserve list. So that is the update around Erik McCoy. Wishing him a very, very speedy recovery. A groin injury, I haven't fortunately had something like that, but after a few long seasons in the NFL, I'm sure that can be a really pesky injury. So really want to wish him the absolute best in a speedy recovery because he's a key part to this offense. Now, these are the players who on the injury report did not participate. And really quick, we're going to go through all of the portions of the injury report, and then we're going to break down what's on the Falcons side of things. But Alvin Kamara, he did not practice today because of a hip. It was a rib injury and a hip pointer. That was the official reports. Alontae Taylor, really don't need to worry about that. It's an illness. I think he's going to be okay. I expect him to be at practice tomorrow. Cesar Ruiz, he did not participate. He has a knee injury, and Dennis Allen did say that it doesn't have anything to do. It's actually separate from what brought him out of the game against the Eagles. And now Demario Davis, in case you didn't know, he was not a part of the defense during that last drive when Philadelphia ultimately went down the field and scored and took the lead to eventually win the game. He was not on the field because of an injury, and he did not participate today. And that is kind of scary for me because he is a massive, massive part of this defense. And without him, I get nervous. I just got to be honest with you. It makes me nervous. So I'm really hoping he will play. I'm really hoping that he can come back from this injury. And hopefully tomorrow on the injury report, he's at least limited. Now, John Hendricks and a lot of other Saints media media journalists and media insiders did report this. Just John had all of it kind of listed for me right here. So the Saints did sign Shane Lemieux to an active roster. He was with the team during training camp. Erik McCoy went to IR. We just discussed that. And Chris Reed, he is actually joining the practice squad. Now, in a quick opinion that I have about this, with Shane Lemieux, that's fine. He has experience. He's had plenty of snaps in the league. He was a partial starter for the New York Giants back a few years ago. But I was actually really impressed with what Kyle Hergel did. He was an undrafted free agent that the Saints brought in this past offseason. And he was good in the preseason. He made a lot of good steps in terms of growing and developing into a quality lineman. I'm not saying that he should be the starter, but I think I would rather have him around if you ask me. Now, we do want to go through the limited participants as well of the injury report, and there's actually 3, so kind of good news, to be quite honest. Khalen Saunders, the defensive tackle, he is back. He's been dealing with a calf injury. Going to break him down in just a second, but DeMarco Jackson, he could add some extra depth to the linebacker group. He's been dealing with a calf injury, did not play last week, and Landon Young. Obviously, the offensive line is just very banged up, so to have an offensive lineman just be a limited participant and, not a non-participant, in my eyes, it's good enough news for me. Because this offensive line is beat to hell. Now, let's talk about Binky, because he is going to be a big part of the success for the defense this week, because when the Saints brought him in as a free agent last year, it's because of his run-stopping ability. And, there's arguments that maybe he wasn't as good as a lot of people hoped. But in my personal opinion, Khalen Saunders is a phenomenal football player, not in just the sense of being a good defensive tackle. He also is an effective player lined up as a wide receiver, lined up as a fullback, lined up to lead block for Taysom Hill. I mean, like, he's a player that's just kind of does it all. And to be honest, his energy and his swagger is very, very intoxicating, and I think it's a really fun player to have on the team. And I do think that he is a quality player that does add some good depth to the defensive line, especially to the defensive interior, which right now I think they have the Saints defensive interior has a prime opportunity to feast this week against Atlanta. Here are the full participants for for the New Orleans Saints. Derek Carr hit a left groin injury, and so actually a few seasons ago, Marcus Mariota came in on the Raiders because Derek Carr hurt his groin, and he was out for like a week or week and a half, I believe. This is an injury that has had him miss, or that has caused him to miss time in the past, so definitely want to monitor this situation. Taysom Hill with his chest injury, he had a bruised lung. That's what kept him out against Philadelphia, but we do have good news. Number 7, it is an expectation that he will be ready to go against the Falcons, and that's coming from the head honcho, Dennis Allen himself. So having Taysom Hill around would be huge. I mean, he has been a vital part to the Saints' success against the Falcons, especially. Like, I believe in his career, he averages, I believe it's like 7 yards of carry against the Falcons, which is kind of crazy. I could be wrong on that. I think I'm butchering the stat, but I'm pretty sure I saw that earlier today when I was doing a little bit of research. But Taysom Hill, he is a big part of the offense. You saw how much the Saints missed him and his just utilization and the utility and the ability that he has. You missed having him around against Philadelphia, and so having him back for a divisional game, especially against the rival, is very important for me. Wanted to just give you guys a quick update. This is not including watch party numbers. This is including just the videos that we put out throughout the weeks. So this week, guys, we put up some really, really good growth. 641 new subscribers. But Falcons has gotten to 632. So let's bury them. I want to beat them, not just on the field, in their own stadium. I want to beat them in the office. I want to beat them in the studio. I want to beat them on YouTube. I want to beat them till they're not red and black, till they're black and blue. So if you are with me, if you love the New Orleans Saints and you hate the Falcons, hit that sub button right now. All right, so coming up, I'm going to go through the very, very extensive injury report for the Atlanta Falcons. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss this. Before we get to that, got to tell you guys about our sponsor, and that is Fanatics. If you guys want to get some new gear, I actually got this jacket from Fanatics. You can check it out. It's pretty sick. But they also have a lot of cool Saints jerseys, the home, the away, the color rush. They have new players. They have legends. They have current players. They have men's, women's, all shapes and sizes, whatever colors you want. You can get yourself some gear for this season. Chatsports.com/Saints jerseys. The holidays are coming up somewhat soon. They'll get here before you know it. So if you just want to take care of business and get a Christmas present out of the way, get an early birthday present out of the way, just don't even think about it. You can order it, take care of business, and put it away in the closet until it's come holiday season, and you already have a gift ready. So you'll be thanking yourself if you use this code, chatsports.com/Saints jerseys. All right, extensive. Not really. It's just one player, and it's actually kind of crazy. The Atlanta Falcons only had one player on their injury report, and that was Kaleb McGary, and he did not participate due to a knee injury. So in 2024, he's allowed 6 pressures so far, no sacks, and he has had quite a bit of snaps as the starting right tackle for Atlanta. And for Drew Dalman, he did get placed on IR today, which is pretty unfortunate for Atlanta. He was starting to have a really good season. But for the Falcons specifically, you are missing Drew Dalman, who's been really, really good. I'm not saying Matthew Bergeron and Chris Lindstrom are bad, but if you don't have Kaleb McGary on the roster, you're moving some things, or not on the roster, but not available, you're moving some things around. And that opens up the opportunity for these guys right here. And with Carl Granderson and Chase Young, they got a feast. There's just no question about it. Khalen Saunders, he should be back this week, so hopefully he'll get a good amount of runs, stopping the run against Bijan and Tyler Algier. But with Nathan Shepard and Cam Jordan specifically, I just want to see them be impactful players. I want to see Cam Jordan. He's not going to get as many snaps. Dennis Allen reporting that, or not reporting that. Dennis Allen saying, like, expect to see less snaps from him. He's going to have more meaningful snaps, but less total snaps. So, unfortunately, it's just father time, man. It sucks, but Cam Jordan, not going to get as many run, or not as much run on game days nowadays, but Carl Granderson and Chase Young have been really good so far. So Chase Young does need to be a little bit more productive, in my opinion, but Carl Granderson has been dominant. Brian Brzee has been good. Peyton Turner is even starting to get a little active, and hey, maybe for the wrong reasons on social media, but whatever. It'd be like that. That's last week. Time to move on. So final thoughts, it is a rivalry game, so I know for a fact, and this is not just on the Saints side of things, any player that is injured currently or going to become injured and pop up on the injury report for the Saints or the Falcons, if they're able to play, they're going to go. This isn't just a random game. This isn't playing against the Colts or something where win or lose, sure, it hurts the record, but you can afford to lose that kind of game. Like, this is not one of those weeks. This is the Atlanta Falcons. This is your biggest rival. This is a divisional game. You win this, you are sitting very pretty to be on top of the division. You're currently leading the NFC South. Take them down in their own stadium. This is a game you got to win. And in my opinion, no player is going to sit out just because they don't feel like it or they're a little banged up. They know the stakes of this game on both sides. So I'm praying that the New Orleans Saints can make it happen. I'm praying that the Saints can get after it. Clint Kubiak can prove the haters and the doubters wrong. And I want to see the Atlanta Falcons lose in their own stadium. Let's take it back over, and let's go get a dub. Reminder, it is Falcons Hate Week, so get the FATLs in the chat. Like this video if you hate the Falcons. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you at our watch party at 11 a.m. Central Time, 1 hour before kickoff. Come hang out. We're going to have a blast.